a one-on-one conversation with you.
Yeah, it's usually just been across that meeting table with the governor
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yes. And there's a lot of things that, so I had an opportunity to talk to both the Graysons the day afterwards, and I realized after that conversation a lot of the energy I think came from a lot of misinformation, and a lot of things that were independently told to us, which I don't know how much of you're privy to, but there was a lot. There was a lot of how do I put this? Listen, I'm just gonna cut to the chase.
Yeah.
We were told a lot of shit, and a lot of things were painted a certain way that made things look significantly worse than they really were. And
Yeah.
quite frankly, we've been operating off of what I would call 4 months of trauma. So, and
Makes sense.
I do not think it's in the least bit fair to you, to most of the people in that room, that energy that, like, you're responsible for it is what I'm trying to say. So,
Sure.
I want to let you know that I did let Arcadia know. I still need to talk to Ava, but let them know that, like, at least from our end, we're pretty square. We're not really, we're not putting this on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of
I have no
things.
issue with you guys.
Yeah.
It's a different story, but that's a personal thing. Well, I guess.
Pred is my, like, adjacent, right? But I, like, there's a reason why I stay quiet when he says shit. Like,
yeah. It's hard to look favorably on a man when I got shot in his name.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know the whole Chaos Legion terrorism thing?
I heard a little bit about it, and not in detail though.
Yeah, I can tell you what happened. So, I had just came back from paying out the judges for November. And I think it was Arcadia, Sean, Cassidy, and Beric were basically up there where those snowmen are. And I woke up, and then like a minute later, Chaos Legion pull up on the bikes, and I feel the barrel of gun in the back of my neck, and they're like, "Are you judges?" And with the barrel of the gun in my neck, I'm not gonna lie. So I say yes, and they say, "In the name of King Kyle Pred, die," and they shoot us. So, if I get shot and in the name of Kyle Pred, I don't exactly look favorably on the guy. And this is like an hour after he'd been removed.
I think it's important. Look, I'm not going to justify it, but I think it's important to understand the big picture of things. It's a good way to help move things forward, right? I don't expect necessarily you believe every word I say here, right? But for about 2.5 days, it was being communicated, and I'm not even going to use names, you know what I mean? Like, but it was communicated to us that there was every judge and every justice weighed in on a decision. We were given no name to speak to. We were, there was a lot of bullshit that was said out of ignorance. You know what I mean? I think there was an attempt to, let's say, defend. So my understanding is that the DOJ has operated sort of under this. When we speak on matters of the DOJ, we're going to come in as a unit, right?
Right.
And I think that has some value to it. But on the receiving end, for our end, it came across and was inferred as much that there was a collective decision on a legislative matter, which drew up questions of, like, does that mean everyone's conflicted? How do you move forward? Now we have to rely on the governor, like all these sort of things. And a lot of it was like, imagine some, like, from our perspective, right? A mayor gets removed and we don't know the legal backing. It happens as perceived by us in a matter of an hour and a half. And somehow all the judges and justices have all managed to make that decision in such a short period of time. Well, we've been, I'm waiting for 4 years, audits are waiting, and it just seems very malicious, right? But
I can see why it would look that way, yeah.
So, and and this is on top of the 4 months of grievances. It's like a boiling point thing. But after speaking to Arcadia, she mentioned it was her, you, and I believe one other person, and then it wasn't everybody. And the worst of it was, and once again, like, this is, I'm telling you what I heard and what was told to me, is that it was communicated that they made that the judge, that Arcadia made the decision. It was also then communicated that no, the justices all approved of it, and they claimed they didn't. And it became such like while I'm sure there's truth there or whatnot, but like for the outside party, you're hearing such conflicting information on such a big deal decision. It just came across a certain way. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I swear to you, in a matter of 15 minutes, having a conversation with Arcadia directly after knowing, she was the spearhead.
Yeah, she's great.
It was all understanded. Like, it was like 3 days of a headache that was fixed in one conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think, the way that whole situation was handled was not ideal. If we could, go back and do it again, we would do it differently. I think with the new justices coming in who will be active and available for face-to-face interaction, will be a benefit for everyone. Because it's difficult to get things moving along when you're waiting on a response to an email.
That's what we had to deal with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So trust me, I get it.
Because when the whole thing happened, Angel responded and Hallow responded. And then when Arcadia put the thing forward, Angel okayed it. Hallow didn't say anything, but we took that as we assumed no news was a positive. And then Hart was literally asleep at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, not just not awake in the city, but like asleep.
Yep. I'm not one to really live in the past. I think that's boring.
Yeah, I agree. I think it happened. We can lament it till the end of days, but that won't achieve anything.
I think it was a good lesson learned.
Is the issue.
You know what I mean? I think lesson learned in that, like, for everybody. Like, here's the, how do I put this? This might sound strange, but the bullshit is a good way to be like, hey, this is why we're going to talk more. And I think that has been happening. And I want to at least do my part in doing so. I know Arcadia has. I know you've been around. I've seen you. We haven't really talked much, but I've seen you around. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is the activity is the most important. What you see on the ground is a different story than what can sometimes be painted in a couple words. And that includes legislation. That's right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think just being available and around in the city is just good entirely. Because, like, I think the fact that there's been judges around and available, we've seen like an uptick in bench trial requests because people are like, oh, there's actually judges around, so people will actually get heard.
A good example of this is there's a hunting license concern that was brought up, some difference of opinions. We literally solved it this morning. Again. I'm sorry?
Those cops might be thinking about ticketing you. Can't tell.
Well, that's
I don't
Bobby.
know what they're doing. Oh. You know, he bought a Hydra car from the VAF auction just to brag that he bought it.
Bobby?
Yeah.
We gotta reduce that pay.
He bought it for 50,000.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was a good one.
It's cheaper brand new from Mosley's. He only bought it so he can brag.
Yeah, the hunting thing, right? Like, there's this whole thing about Blaine County had one thing. We were also told things by justices that aren't around anymore, that hunting was going to be working one way, and there's a lot of our shit right now works off of word of mouth. I'm a big fan of writing shit down. I know it can make me seem pedantic or whatever, but it's more like everyone knows how the thing works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, but anyways, we fucking solved that real quick. I just said, you know, fuck figuring out what's up and down. Let's just make a unified hunting license, because I don't think that's interesting to anybody. Like, are we gonna sit here
Yeah,
and, like, you know?
every time I've issued them, I've been like, what county do you want?
Yeah, we didn't know that, actually. So what? So our background is, when we wrote it, when I asked about it, they said, oh, you can write your own, but there's going to be a state one, but then they can lose it if they do something down here, versus, like, if someone does a crime down here, they can lose it if the crime was down here, but not up there, or I don't know.
Okay.
So something changed in between the sandwich. Not that it matters, but you know, shit's fucking complicated right now, and I think it can be easily resolved. But
Can I help you, officer?
Hey, good evening, y'all. Hey, Nino.
Yep.
Gonna give you a warning on your parking today. Your parking
Already got it.
opposite. Well, I've
Marshall
given
beat you
the
to it.
warning. Yeah,
Oh, well, Trevette, you better. Otherwise, I'm going to take that job of yours.
Can you take my job?
I have no idea. I haven't really tried.
Oh, okay.
You want me to
All
try? I mean, I could try it. I'll give my fiance a call.
Nah. I don't know how that would work, but hey, just make sure you park in the proper direction of traffic. Are you Sam King? Is that who you're talking to?
No, I'm a judge.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, Mr. Mayor,
Yep.
you have a good one.
No. Hold on.
Make sure you,
If you see if the marshal gave me a ticket, if not, you know, just write it up.
See if the marshal will give you a ticket.
No, has already.
No, he did.
He did?
I
Oh.
can see the incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just giving you a verbal.
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I mean, I'm not gonna
Okay.
fucking commit corruption in front of a judge. If I was really gonna do that, it'd probably be behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my job gets threatened all the time, so I'm just used to it.
Who's threatening your job?
Everybody I arrest.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just kind of just hear it and just in one ear, out the other, and keep it moving.
The border's coming.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna
we-
deport people.
Spoke to some judges this morning. We're writing something up.
Yes.
And I think
yeah.
you should assist with that on our end of the DMZ.
Yeah.
All right.
I love demilitarized zones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's likely
right.
going to be an uptick of illegal moonshine making its way. Well, legal moonshine illegally crossing through the
Border.
state lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know.
All right.
Sorry, I had a
I don't know. I
minute
need
over.
to keep in contact with judges or just check in with them every now and then.
I'm sorry?
Do I need to keep in contact with judges and check in with them every now and then whenever they start writing that out?
It's going to be a joint thing. Me and Pred are writing something up. TLDR is moonshine is going to be legally produced up north. Alcohol licenses will be available down here. But that doesn't mean that people aren't going to cook shit and try to bring it without
Bring it
license down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All
All right,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for it.
Yep.
Other than that, y'all have a great one, all right?
Yep.
You too.
Hell yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good spot for marshals to step in too, possibly.
Oh, I can work with the marshals too?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Inter-county law enforcement concern.